This lake's the same colour as my coffee. Wow. Oh, well, that was a bit exciting. Had a bit of a stuff up with the code sail. I got the sheets around the wrong way around the forestay. The captain's just got it on the hook. Then my little microphone thing decided it wasn't going to work. So I was sort of looking at that and looking at a GoPro and then almost ran into the land. Once again, concentrate on sailing and not on making YouTube videos. How's it going there, viewers? Well, I'm at Lake Conjola today, a very brown, murky Lake Conjola. Lots of debris floating around in it too, by the looks of things, from all the rain we've had. But it's just up the road from my place, and I've come up here today to do a test run of my new asymmetrical Spinnaker, which I've put onto a furler. Now, you may have seen a video that I put out in the past, just recently, just trying to work out if I could get this Spinnaker to furl without a torsion line, and failed dismally. So I've created a torsion line from my good friend Andre from Boz Racing. He supplies pretty much all the lines you see on this boat, especially the custom made sort of stuff. You'll find his website, bozracing.com, or you'll find him on eBay actually. And anyway, I've come up to test out this new furler system that I've made. I've converted a standard Ronston furler to a top-down furler by means of making a torsion line. I hope it works, and we'll see what happens. So I'm going to be testing that out today. Hopefully that'll be a success, and it won't be a learn from my mistakes, but hey, it worked first go. The other thing I'm testing out today is this strange contraption. This is my prototype. It's I suppose you'd call it a mast track gate. So the idea of this is I run the sail, put the slugs into the sail track through the little flary bit at the bottom there, run the main up, fit this so that when I run the main down, it doesn't fall out of the bottom of the mast. So when I want to put it back up again, I can do that from in the cockpit by just pulling a halyard, not having to get up on top of the deck there, hanging onto the mast, and also feeding the slugs into the mast track. So with a bit of luck, that's going to work okay as a prototype. Not sure. We'll see how it goes. So today's just a bit of a test run of a few things, and with a bit of luck we might get a sail in. Not a lot of breeze, but that's good for test running things. You don't want to be out testing how to use an asymmetrical Spinnaker for the first time and howling subtly or anything. So I think we're going to get maximum 10 knots today, so let's see what happens. Well, I've pulled up in a nice little bay here, which is, well, there's breeze coming from all around me. But give me a chance now to get this spinnaker out and get it up in the air, and hopefully that part works, and then get it to furl up, and hopefully that part works. That's the bit I really want to have work. Anyway, I think I'll have a coffee first, so beautiful day. Oh, that's hot. I've got to say, I'm going to have to keep an eye out big time today. Just motoring from the boat ramp over to this little bay I'm in at the moment. I went past 3 trees, which were about that much of the tree, parts of it sticking out of the water. The rest of it you could just see underneath. Don't want to run into one of them, particularly. So yes, going to have to keep a eagle eye out for flotsam and jetsam in the water. Now the serenity, son. Well, viewers, just sitting here enjoying the serenity and my nice coffee, thinking through just exactly how I'm going to do this next process of getting this spinnaker up the mast and then hopefully furling it up. And because it's just coming out of the bag, it's not furled up or anything like that. It's just folded up, and I've just got to dump it on the deck and hoist it up, and there's going to be spinnaker going everywhere. So I've just looked up there on the pull pit, the Ted Bull pit, up there on the Ted Bull pit. There's a camera mount, and I think I'm going to go and take it off, because spinnaker drags across that thing. There's a very good chance that I'll rip my brand new spinnaker even before I've used it. So we don't want that. So off I go to take a camera mount off Ted Bull pit. There's a very good chance that this is going to go horribly wrong. In fact, yes, very good chance. Wind coming around us in all directions. Not really sure what's happened up there. It could be a tangled mess. I've gone and put a sheet onto it so that I'm hoping that might help me out, but it could cause a problem because I won't let the sail go to whatever tack it's going to go to with the wind. I don't know. We'll just give it a go. See what happens. What's the worst thing that could happen? Well, it's up in the air. It's got a bit of a mess up the top there, but this is not a complete failure. I'm telling myself that anyway. I just cannot get enough tension on this torsion line to see if it's actually work properly. So I need to shorten it by 100 mil, and that's on the garage floor at home job. It's certainly not a on the water job. It needs some specialty tools and things for that. So we're going to pack that one away. It sort of worked. It sort of didn't as well. Anyway. We'll drop that down and pack that away, and and then maybe have a look at prototype of mast gate, mainsail track gate. Viewers, so just to give you a little idea of what the hell I'm talking about with the Spinnaker torsion line thingy. That's it there. So that's my standard little Ronston furler, and I use that furler for the code sail and it works fine. The code sail has a torsion line built into the luff. Asymmetrical spinnakers, as I have learnt, you don't do that. They have to have I call it a standalone or an outside torsion line, free flowing even. So this is a particular line that you can see that Andre supplied, that if I turn that, it's very, very, well, anti-torsion. It wants to turn, the whole length of the line wants to turn, so it's a very anti-torsion rope. I don't even know if that's the right term. But either way, I've got to get it tighter, because what's happened is this top swivel here is now hitting the top of the mast. So I need to probably shorten this whole line by, I reckon, about 100 mil, just so I can get that stretch on it. So I can actually load up the bowsprit. What happens with this boat doesn't need a backstay, but the reason I've got one is because of what I'm about to tell you, is when you load up these torsion lines, I'm actually bowing the top of the mast forward. So I need to then bow the top of the mast back so it doesn't go snap. Yeah, it's just another way, as well as getting a little bit of extra load onto that forestay or torsion line in the headsail. So yeah, that's what I've been talking about, all of this sort of stuff here. Now this isn't spliced, you can't really splice this stuff. Andre told me he couldn't do it, and I'm really glad that we didn't, because I gave him a dimension or a measurement of 8 meters 500, and if he'd had spliced it, I would have been pretty much using that as a docking line and getting him to make one at 8.4 meters. Because I've got to make it 100 mil shorter. So yeah, so I basically, to do this, there's little stainless steel clamps in there, and then I've bound it, whipped it, I suppose you would call it, and then the magical heat shrink, which hides all nasties. It's like paint heat shrink, you just put it over things and everything looks really good until it breaks. And I did a pretty good job on that, I think. But now I've got to cut it all open and do it again. But anyway, that's fun. That'll be an after work job during the week maybe. But yeah, that's what it's about. So there we go. One big mess of Spinnaker, but it's going to work. It's going to work, Murray. It's going to work. Ah, beautiful day though. This lake's the same colour as my coffee. Wow. So I'll take this opportunity to answer a question from one of the viewers, one of the punters, one of the campers, who sent me a message that said that he was interested in how my lazy jack's set up, and to which I said I'd show him on one of the upcoming videos. And I did forget the last one. That's because it was blowing at like 30 knots most of the time, and I was sort of worried about not dying. It wasn't that bad, but like, you know, it wasn't really the time for doing how-to videos. But today is, because today is really just a big how-to video, basically teaching myself how to do things. But anyway, I will show you what I've done with my lazy jack. So I got this bag made up from my local sail maker, which is up in Nowra, and did an awesome job too. So he set it all up for me, made the bag. It's a standard type bag, really. Well, I don't know if it's a standard type bag. It's a sail bag. It's got these little eyelets in it, and I just got these clips. I need to replace that one because the spring's on it. Got myself some top quality marine line from the Big Green Shed. Top quality. Yeah, I got some rope and got a couple of those little rings you see there. And all I've done is I've made two, I suppose you would call them stationary or fixed lines, and then these two here are just on a loop. They go up to a couple of little pulleys up on the mast, which I think they call those a cheek block, I think. Yes, I don't know if you can see those. I'll get up there, you can have a look. There you go, look, cheek block. Yeah, one there, one there. And that just comes down here to these little cleaty things on the mast. And I just adjust them so that they do what they're meant to do. sometimes I forget to loosen them off when I'm sailing, and you'll sort of be, you know, sailing along merrily and to windward, and you'll look at the main and the main looks like crap. It's because these things need to be just backed off. But look, there's many ways of doing it. I've seen some guys have just done it with a single rope that goes to a pulley on the side there, and whatever works for you, I suppose. But that's how I did it. And in all seriousness, the actual lazy jacks themselves cost me about 20 bucks. And yeah, the bag cost me. Well, you don't even need a bag though. Before I had the bag, I used to have, in fact, there's the holes in the boom where you can see it. I used to just have a couple of, few little saddle type things there where the lazy jacks would attach, and it would just all come down and lay on top of the boom. But I thought I'd get a bit flash and get a boom bag. How flash is that? But yeah, that's how I do my lazy jacks, and they're brilliant. It is just so cool. Like, seriously, if you're setting yourself up to sail your boat single-handedly, whether it be a big boat or just a little tub like this thing, lazy jacks are brilliant. Like, you just throw the halyard, and if you put the boat in, if you've got the boat into windward, of course, I usually start the outboard a bit, or if there's not a lot of breeze, but if there's a fair bit of breeze, it just, the sail just flaps and comes down, and you've just got to just guide it into the bag. None of this stuff where sails are going everywhere and you need 8 hands to try and catch it all and tie it up. It pretty much just folds itself up, which is great. So yeah, lazy jacks for solo sailing or cruising, great idea. So on to test number 2. Mast tracky gate thing, prototype number 1. Idea being that I can, once I've set the main up on the mast, I no longer have to get up here to guide the slugs into this little gate. I can just pull the halyard and up it goes. Yeah, okay. Sure, it won't work that well first go, but anyway. I'm sure when they invented the wheel, they had to work out they had to chop the corners off a square or something to make it work. So, you know, it's all about experimenting and thinking and trying new things, isn't it? I'm pretty happy it works. It's sort of working. There's the problem. It needs to be a little bit longer, and I'll show you all this in a second. It goes there like that. That's working here. Oh, look at this. Ah, there it goes, one come out. Yeah, there's the problem. It needs to be slightly higher. Or I could just lift it up. Look at that. That one worked. That one worked. That one worked. Oh, look at this, it works. Still needs to be a bit bigger. Look at that. Alrighty. How good's that? Now that I've danced the dance of joy, I think I'll just drop that down. Might have some lunch, and then maybe go for a sail. In fact, just sail home really, because I've done what I've wanted to do, which is test those things. Actually, if I go home early, I'll be able to get that Spinnaker torsion line out on the garage floor and start work on that this afternoon. After I wash all the coffee, well, the brown lake, off the boat. Well done, Murray, you smart bastard. I love it when I make things and they work. Well, almost work. I mean, it's going to work properly, it just needs to be adjusted. But yeah, I just came up with that idea, and because there's so many different ones. Like, you get onto the internet, and there's ones that you can buy, there's ones that get 3D printed, just depending on what type of mast you've got. And I don't know what type of mast I've got. I've just got that. I couldn't tell you what number section it is, extrusion it is, I wouldn't know. I could find out, but yeah, there's all these different things, and there's different ways people have done it. I've seen guys who've got like hinges that they've got drilled and tapped into the mast with things that fold around. And I thought, I don't know, I just need something that works like a track that I can take off. So I came up with that, and it worked. Maybe I could paint it. What would I call it? sailing head injuries mast track gate. That would be the SHIMTG. Yeah, one of them, Mark 1. God, I can babble on with crap, can't I? Anyway, time for lunch. Okay, viewers, well, on today's lunchtime menu, we have a hickory smoked sausage and a Mexican style salad. Pretty much just left over from yesterday's lunch, but it looks pretty good. Cheers. Oh, well, that was a bit exciting. Had a bit of a stuff up with the code sail. I got the sheets around the wrong way around the forestay, which happens just about every time I do. Then my little microphone thing decided it wasn't going to work, so I was sort of looking at that and looking at a GoPro, and then almost ran into the land. Once again, concentrate on sailing and not on making YouTube videos. It's a little bit blustery sort of here. And we're sort of pointing a little bit too high really for the code sail in this condition, I think. It will settle down again as we get down here a little bit. But to be perfectly honest, I think I'm just going to furl up this code sail and start packing the boat up, getting it ready to put on the trailer as we make my way down the bay. I've done my little test runs. Just to recap, we need to shorten up the torsion line for the asymmetric Spinnaker. Need to increase the length of the mast gate by probably half an inch, or maybe just lift it up a bit, or not worry about it. Probably not worry about it. Probably it works fine, just then. So yeah, all in all, a reasonably good experimental day. Just making sure I don't run into any trees. There's a few of them around. Some crazy guy over there in a jet ski going at a million miles an hour. I hope he doesn't come into contact with one. That would be splendiferously exciting for him. Here he comes, fat out of hell. Time to blow jet skis up, I reckon. How's the surroundings, son? Until you came in. That looks like so much fun. Challenging sport, that is. Still involved. Right? Alright, yeah, I think we might just get this code sail away. Worse than a jet ski screaming around at a million miles an hour, making lots of noise, just doing donuts and silly things, is a jet ski screaming around at a million miles an hour, doing donuts and making noise and doing lots of silly things, that is also playing really loud, bad music. Like, what's the song I could hear? It was, everybody Backstreet's back, alright. It's the Backstreet Boys. That guy's playing the Backstreet Boys. Oh man, you got to get a life, mate. Like seriously. Have you not heard of Led Zeppelin? Maybe, I don't know, Foo Fighters, Smashing Pumpkins, someone like that? Get some real music going if you're going to do that stuff. Wake up to yourself. Right, well, all in all, I suppose that wasn't a bad experiment day, testing day. Nice light breezes, so you know, even with the light breezes, it was a bit of ample. But yeah, the Spinnaker needs a bit of work. That torsion line needs to be shortened, and we'll try again, and then hopefully it'll work when it's under more tension. It'll work the way it's meant to. The mast gate worked really well. In fact, I'm not even going to do anything. I was going to make it a bit longer, but I'm not even going to do that. I'm just going to lift it up a little bit in the mast track, because if I make it any longer, I won't be able to get it in. But anyway, if you're interested in more details on that, if that's something that might work with your boat, and you haven't got that type of setup, send me a message. I'd be more than happy to send you some photos and things like that. But yeah, all in all, a good day. So now time to get old head injuries here de-rigged and on the road, and home for a nice cold beer and some dinner.